Matters Matters Stitch by Leslie Ann Hayashi. Lilo, Nonny, and Stitch were enjoying a nice breakfast one day. Stitch stuffed his mouth full of fluffy pancakes. As he chewed, he demanded, "Syrup!" Then he slurped down his guava juice and let out a loud "Burp!" "Stitch, that's a lot of poor table manners in the last 10 seconds, Nonny said. "Manners?" Stitch asked around a large bite of pineapple. "Manners are how we treat each other," Nonny explained. "Good manners show that we respect and care about the people around us." Stitch shrugged. "The rules can't be that important, right?" But then Nonny said, "At the potluck luau on Saturday, all the guests will be using their best manners. Maybe you're not ready to attend." "I'll teach him," Lilo said. "I have an idea that will help. A manners book." Lilo reached for a notebook and started scribbling suggestions. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. "Perfect timing for your first lesson, Stitch," Lilo declared. "Welcome in with aloha. First, you smile, then you give a handshake. Here in Hawaii, we sometimes give a shaka sign too." Lilo ran to open the door. "Welcome, David. Please come in," Lilo said with a big smile. She reached out to shake his hand. "I'm teaching Stitch super important manners." "Ah, got it," David said. "Good luck, Stitch. We all need to learn and relearn manners." Stitch felt overwhelmed. How could he learn all these important manners by Saturday? Everyone headed to the supermarket. "I told the Macadang-dangs that we would pick up some ingredients for them too," Nonny said. "Being helpful is another way to show good manners," Lilo told Stitch. Nonny and David pushed a shopping cart around the store. When they accidentally bumped into other carts, they apologized. "Excuse me, so sorry." Lilo saw Myrtle, one of her classmates. When Myrtle spotted Lilo and Stitch, she turned her nose up and walked away in a huff. Before they could react to Myrtle's rudeness, Nonny announced, "Done! We have everything on the list." Stitch rushed to the cash register. He didn't notice that he had cut in front of several other shoppers. "No, Stitch, we have to wait our turn," Lilo said. "To be patient, try to take deep breaths," David said. Stitch breathed deeply and started to relax. The group walked to the Macadang-dang's house. "Learning manners can be tricky," Lilo said. "But if you practice, it will get easier." David rang the doorbell and said, "Hello, it's Nonny and David." A voice called back, "Come in and make yourselves at home." Excited by the invitation, Stitch ran inside and jumped on the couch. He helped himself to a bowl of potato chips and turned on the television. "Stitch, what are you doing?" Lilo asked. "Make at home?" Stitch replied. "That's just a saying," Nonny said. "It means to sit down and relax, not act like you really live here." "Oh," Stitch mumbled as the Macadang-dangs entered the room. "Stitch, very sorry," he said. "How to make right?" "Apology accepted," Mr. Macadang-dang said. "Maybe you could clean up a bit?" Stitch zipped around the room, sweeping up crumbs, putting the remote back, and fluffing up the pillows. "Nice," said Freddie McDang-dang. Stitch smiled with relief. When they returned home, Lilo said, "I'm proud of you, Stitch. You learned a lot of lessons today." The praise made Stitch feel great. Maybe he could get the hang of good manners after all. Over the next few days, Stitch worked hard to learn many kinds of manners. Stitch learned not to interrupt others while they talked or worked. Even their friend Mr. Bubbles noticed Stitch's progress. In the park one day, Mr. Bubbles told Stitch, "A good citizen is also honest and responsible, someone who finds peaceful ways to solve problems." Just then, Myrtle and her poodle, Cashmere, walked by. Myrtle made a face at Lilo. "As one of Stitch's teachers, you can show him how to handle people you don't get along with," Mr. Bubbles said to Lilo. Lilo stayed quiet, watching Myrtle walk away. The night before the potluck luau, Nonny, Lilo, and Stitch prepared hapia, a traditional coconut pudding. "Stitch, are you ready for tomorrow?" Nonny asked. Stitch nodded and held up his manners book. Nonny smiled. "Okay, Just remember to treat everyone with respect, understanding, and kindness. At the luau, music and the smell of delicious food filled the air. Although they were excited, Lilo and Stitch greeted everyone politely. Then they got in line and waited for their turn to eat, even though Stitch was very hungry. "Good job being patient, Stitch," Lilo whispered encouragingly. Once they filled their plates, Lilo and Stitch sat with Freddie and his family. "Here, try a lupia," Freddie said, offering Stitch a spring roll from his plate. "Thanks, Freddie," Stitch said. In return, he offered to share his happier. Everyone beamed at Stitch's good behavior. Just then, Stitch noticed Myrtle and her poodle. Wanting to show his good manners, Stitch approached them with a plate of happier. On his way there, he stumbled over a tree root. Up flew the happier and splat! The dessert landed on Cashmere's head. "So sorry," Stitch said, trying to brush the happier off Cashmere. "Get away from us!" Myrtle shrieked at him. Lilo rushed to defend Stitch. "It was an accident." "He's the rudest dog I've ever met," Myrtle said. "Stitch was working really hard on his manners," Lilo said. "You're the one who's being rude." Stitch remembered all the lessons he had learned. He grabbed a lei and draped it around Cashmere's neck. The poodle loved the flowers. Stitch handed another lei to Lilo. "Treat everyone with respect," he whispered. Myrtle, maybe we can," Lilo started. "Get along today?" Myrtle finished. Nodding, Lilo placed the lei around Myrtle's neck. "Thanks, Stitch," Lilo said. "I guess I still have lessons to learn about manners, too." Nodding gathered Lilo and Stitch into a hug. "I'm proud of both of you," she said. Stitch smiled. With the support of his ohana, he had learned the most important manner of all. Treat everyone with love in your heart.